My parents were furious when I stopped helping the family financially, but they didn't see how far my sister had gone. Some people joke about being the family bank, but for me, it was real life. For 5 years, I paid my sister Kelly's rent, utilities, and even helped with groceries after her husband left. He couldn't handle her temper, and honestly, I got it. Kelly could be tough, but she was my sister. When our parents used the excuse that they were enjoying their retirement, the burden fell on me. I'm not rich. I work a regular job and maybe take one vacation a year. Still, I kept thinking, if I don't help her, who will? So I kept going. I bought diapers when her daughter Lisa was a baby, gave birthday gifts every year, even got Lisa a tablet for school last year. I told myself I was doing the right thing, even if it meant giving up things I wanted. Then everything changed. About a year ago, Kelly got a good job, full-time, with benefits. I decided to keep helping a little longer, just until she got settled. But soon, she started showing up at family dinners bragging about expensive things she was buying. At first, I stayed quiet. I figured maybe she needed to enjoy life a bit. But then, last week, she crossed the line. We were all having dinner, me, Kelly, Lisa, our parents, and Uncle Rob, when she casually said she wanted to buy a designer purse. It cost over $500. I couldn't stay quiet anymore. You're spending hundreds on a purse while I'm still helping you? I asked calmly. She rolled her eyes. Oh, don't be cheap, John. That hit me hard. Cheap, after everything I had done? Something snapped inside me. I looked around. Mom and Dad stared at their food. Kelly looked proud of herself. Only Uncle Rob seemed uncomfortable. Cheap? I said. Let's talk about cheap. I paid your rent while you bought luxury items. Mom and Dad won't help because they're too busy enjoying retirement, and I'm the one cleaning up your mess. Well, not anymore. No more rent, no more groceries, no more help. You're on your own. Silence. Then Uncle Rob said, way to go, John, you don't owe anyone anything. I stood up, grabbed my jacket, and looked back at Kelly. And if you think I'll change my mind, think again. From now on, you pay your own way. Lisa's your child, not mine. I walked out. Uncle Rob followed and patted my back, saying he wished he'd spoken up too. That meant a lot, but it didn't take away the anger. After 5 years of sacrifice, I was somehow the bad guy. I knew the fallout was just beginning. A week passed. Kelly didn't call or text. I wasn't expecting a thank you, but I thought she'd at least try to argue. Instead, silence. And somehow, that was worse. Then, late one night, there was a knock at my door. It was my parents. They looked annoyed. We need to talk about Kelly, my mom said. Do we? I asked. She's struggling, Dad said. Lisa shouldn't suffer because of your pride. I laughed, not because it was funny, but because it was ridiculous. You want me to help her again while you two go on cruises and drink wine? That sound fair? We're retired, Mom snapped. You're young, she's your sister. And she's your daughter, I said. Funny how that works. They didn't like that. The conversation turned into the usual guilt trip, family helps family. I was heartless. Lisa was innocent. I finally cut them off. If you care so much, why don't you pay her bills? Mom scoffed. We don't enable her like you do. She needs to grow up. Exactly, I said, and she won't if people keep rescuing her. Dad looked at me like I'd done something cruel. You're being cold, John. This isn't like you. Maybe not, I said, holding the door open, but this is how it is now. Thanks for stopping by. They left, grumbling, but I felt proud for standing up for myself. At least, until 2 days later. Kelly called out of nowhere. I answered, curious. What do you want? I asked. She sounded cheerful. Just letting you know, I'm moving out of my apartment next month. Why, can't afford it? Oh, I can, I just don't want to. I found something better. You're moving to a nicer place? Not exactly, she said with a smirk in her voice. I'm moving in with Mom and Dad. That felt like a punch in the stomach. What? They offered. Said they didn't want Lisa to suffer because of your tantrum. So, guest room it is. Cozy, right? I was too stunned to answer. I could just picture her lying around their house, doing nothing, getting spoiled. Oh, and one more thing, she added sweetly. You might want to check your credit report. My heart dropped. What does that mean? She laughed. You'll see. Bye, Johnny. I rushed to check my credit account. There it was, a brand new credit card in my name. Thousands of dollars spent at stores I'd never been to, all opened in the past 6 months. Kelly had stolen my identity to fund her shopping spree. Helping her was one thing, being used like this, that was something else. This wasn't about cutting her off anymore. This was war. I felt my hands shaking as I looked at the screen. Thousands of dollars in debt, everything was in my name. There were charges from fancy stores, electronics, even airline tickets. Kelly had been living a high life on my dime, and I didn't even know it. I immediately called the credit card company, and they confirmed it. Someone had used my information, my name, address, and social security number. It was identity theft, pure and simple. After hanging up, I sat there in shock. Kelly had crossed a line I didn't think she could. I thought about Lisa, how much I'd helped her, how much I'd sacrificed for her, and now this. I needed to think before acting, so I called Uncle Rob, the only person who seemed to get what was going on. When I told him, he was stunned. "This is a whole new level of crap, John. What are you going to do?" "I don't know," I said. "If I press charges, Lisa gets caught in the middle, but if I don't, Kelly gets away with it." "You need to do something," Rob said. "She's not going to stop unless someone makes her." He was right. I didn't want to hurt Lisa, but I couldn't let Kelly walk all over me. It wasn't just about the money, it was about standing up for myself. The next day, I contacted a lawyer to understand my options. Kelly had made a huge mistake, and the charges were all connected to her. The lawyer said I could press charges, but also suggested I try talking to her first. Sometimes, just threatening legal action could make someone change. I wasn't sure it would work, but I decided to give it a shot. I called Kelly that evening. She picked up right away. "Hey, Johnny," she said, probably expecting a fight. "Cut the crap, Kelly," I said. "I know about the credit cards." There was a long pause, then she laughed nervously. "What are you talking about?" "Don't act dumb," I said. "I've reported the fraud. I've got a lawyer. You used my information for those accounts, and every charge is linked to you." Her tone changed quickly. "Johnny, listen, it's not what you think. I was going to pay it back. Things just got tight." "Save it," I interrupted. "You're going to pay back every cent. If you don't, I'll press charges and you'll explain it to a judge. Your choice." "Johnny, please," she started. "Don't drag Lisa into this," I cut in. "She's the only reason I'm even giving you this chance." I hung up, hoping she'd take me seriously, but I wasn't sure. To my surprise, a week later, the credit card company called to say the accounts were paid off. I felt relief, but it didn't last long. I learned that Kelly had gone to our parents for the money. They drained their vacation fund, the money they'd been saving for a trip, to bail her out. When I heard that, I couldn't help but laugh, not because it was funny, but because it was just ridiculous. The next day, Mom called me. I thought she was going to tell me it was all settled, but of course, I was wrong. "Are you happy now?" she yelled. "Excuse me?" I asked, confused. "You ruined everything," she shouted. "We had to give Kelly the money we were saving for our trip. Now we're stuck here all winter because of you." I took a deep breath. Let me get this straight. I ruined everything? Not Kelly, who committed identity theft and ran up thousands of dollars in debt in my name. Not you and Dad, who refused to help her for years and left me to handle it all. Somehow, this is my fault? "You didn't have to threaten her like that," Mom said. "You could have handled this as a family." "We tried," I said. "For 5 years, I was the one handling things. Look where that got me." "You didn't need to involve lawyers," she yelled. "She's your sister." "And I'm your son," I shot back. "Funny how that doesn't matter when it comes to me, huh?" There was silence for a moment. Then, coldly, Mom said, "You're not the man I thought you were." "Good," I said, "because I'm finally the man I should have been all along, the one who doesn't let his family walk all over him." After that, things got worse. Mom and Dad were angry. Kelly painted herself as the victim, saying I'd forced her to pay back the money. Even Lisa got caught in the middle of it, though I tried to protect her from all the drama. Uncle Rob had my back. "Let them be mad," he told me. "You're the only one with any sense in this family. Let them stew." But it wasn't that simple. Family dinners became tense. Mom barely spoke to me, and when she did, it was to criticize me about loyalty and forgiveness. Dad kept his distance, not saying much but making it clear he wasn't happy. Kelly acted like nothing happened. She'd show up with Lisa, smiling and laughing, like we were all fine, but I could see her eyes, cold, calculating. She was already planning her next move. The real blow came when I got a call from Lisa one evening. She asked if I could help with a school project, and I agreed without hesitation, but as we talked, she hesitated, then asked something that broke my heart. "Uncle John, are you mad at me?" "No, honey," I said quickly. "Why would you think that?" "Mom says you won't help us anymore because you're mad at her, but I didn't do anything wrong, did I?" My throat tightened. "No, Lisa, you haven't done anything wrong. I'll always be here for you, okay?" "Okay," she said softly. After we hung up, I sat there, staring at the wall. I didn't want to give in to Kelly's games, but I realized this was bigger than just me and her. There were deeper issues in our family, and fixing them wouldn't be easy. family gatherings grew more awkward. Kelly played the victim, and Mom and Dad continued to criticize me for not helping. At Lisa's school play a few weeks later, I went because I wanted to support her. Afterward, she ran up to me, smiling, and gave me a big hug. "Thanks, Uncle John," she said. Then Kelly appeared, looking as sour as ever. "Really, John? Flowers? Are you trying to buy her love?" I didn't answer Kelly. Instead, I looked at Lisa and smiled. "You were amazing up there, kid. I'm so proud of you." Lisa smiled back, but Kelly wasn't done. She folded her arms and said loud enough for people around us to hear. "Funny how you can afford flowers, but you can't help your family anymore." People started glancing over, and I felt my face get hot. "Are you really doing this now?" I asked her quietly. "Why not?" she snapped. "You already embarrassed me, might as well go all the way." I turned to leave, but she called out one last thing that stopped me cold. "Lisa deserves better. She needs an uncle who actually cares, not someone who just uses her to feel better about himself." I turned back, speaking calmly but firmly. "You don't get to say that, not after what you did, and I won't let you turn Lisa against me. She's smart. One day, she'll see what really happened." Then I walked away. I wasn't going to argue anymore. The next morning, Mom called. She was angry. "How could you do that to your sister, at Lisa's school play, no less? Did she tell you what she said to me?" I asked. "That doesn't matter," Mom said. "You're supposed to be the mature one. I have been, for 5 years, and look where it got me." "Well, you've made your point," she snapped. "You can stop punishing her now." "This isn't punishment, these are consequences. Maybe if you and Dad had taught her that earlier, none of this would have happened." She hung up. I didn't hear from her again for days. Then, a week later, Lisa showed up at my door with her backpack. Her eyes were full of tears. "Mom says I can't call you anymore," she said, "but I don't want to stop seeing you." My heart broke. I knelt and hugged her tight. "You're always welcome here, Lisa, always." "I don't want to go back," she whispered. I froze. "What do you mean?" "I hate it there," she said. "Mom and Grandma are always yelling, and they talk bad about you. I just want to stay here with you." I didn't know what to say, but one thing was clear, I couldn't let her keep getting caught in the middle. "Come inside," I told her. "We'll figure it out." That night changed everything. Lisa sat on my couch, holding a mug of cocoa. She looked so small and sad. She used to be so full of life, but now she just looked tired. I tried to make her smile, asking about school and her favorite books. Slowly, she began to talk. "Why does everyone fight so much?" she asked. "Why can't we just be nice?" I took a deep breath. "Sometimes grown-ups mess up, and when they don't fix it, people get hurt. That's what happened with your mom and me, but none of this is your fault, okay?" She nodded but didn't look convinced. "Mom says you hate us." That hit me hard. "Lisa, I don't hate anyone. I love you. That's why I've had to make hard choices. Sometimes, doing what's right means not letting people walk all over you, even family." She stared into her cocoa. "So you're not mad at me?" I shook my head. "Never. You're the best part of this family, and I want you to remember something, okay? When you're older, you'll have to make tough choices too. People might try to push you around, but you don't have to let them. You're strong, Lisa. You're braver than you know." She smiled, just a little, but it gave me hope. Later, when I drove her home, she didn't want to go. I told her, "No matter what anyone says, I'll always be here for you." When we got there, Kelly stormed outside. "What is she doing here?" she yelled. "Relax," I said. "She just needed some space. I brought her back." Kelly started to argue, but Lisa stepped in. "Mom, stop. I wanted to see Uncle John." Kelly looked shocked. For once, she had nothing to say. Before I left, I hugged Lisa again and whispered, "Remember what I said, you're strong." She nodded, looking more confident than before. Over the next few months, things didn't magically get better, but little by little, there was progress. Lisa started speaking up more, even to Kelly. She kept calling me, and Kelly finally gave up trying to stop her. I held my boundaries. Things with my parents stayed tense, but I didn't regret anything. I wasn't going to be their doormat anymore. Uncle Rob also stepped in. He helped Lisa with schoolwork and took her out for ice cream when things got tough. It didn't fix everything, but it gave Lisa one more safe person in her life. I saw her as often as I could. Every time, I reminded her, she was smart, she was strong, and she didn't have to let anyone treat her badly. Kelly never apologized. I didn't expect her to. I didn't need her to. A few weeks later, Lisa gave me a card she made herself. Inside, it said, "Thank you for always believing in me. I'll always remember what you said. I'm strong." It was simple, but it meant the world to me. It reminded me that standing up for myself, and for Lisa, had been worth it.